Alright guys, so as we continue on talking a little bit about traits and talking about variation is all around us. I think, as we know just by looking around our classroom, we've got lots of variation in our skin color, our hair color, our eye colors, our sizes and shapes of our body. And so variation is really this raw material on which evolution feeds. So in order to feed on that, it has to have heritability, being passed from parent to offspring. So we call the transmission of traits from parents to their offspring through genetic information inheritance, we call that heritability. So just like Kate Hudson looks very similar to her mom, Goldie Hawn, you probably look very similar to your parents. So condition number 3 is differential reproductive success. There are always going to be more organisms born than can survive. As you know, if you've ever seen anything about sea turtles and how they breed, lots and lots of sea turtles are born, and as they're running for the ocean, there's wild dogs that pick them off. There are some that run the wrong direction. Sometimes when they get into the water, then they're not able to swim away fast enough, and they get eaten. And so it's suggested that only 1 out of 100 sea turtles eventually live to be full-grown sea turtles. So we see this a lot in organisms where they're struggling continually for existence. Humans, we are constantly struggling for our existence. And one of the questions that I think scientists have had to struggle with is whether humans should intervene in cases of extinction. So you look around us and we see things like the giant panda, and we say, oh, should we get involved in nature and whether or not something goes extinct? Look at the bald eagle, look at the Asian elephant. If we look at all of those organisms, they're on the verge of becoming extinct, but 99.9% of all organisms that have lived on the earth have eventually gone extinct. So that might be a question you ask yourself. Should you intervene in nature? Should you go through what some might be calling this playing God type of existence? So some organisms are very likely to win this struggle and survive and reproduce. If you think about the water buffalo as they're crossing the river in Africa, and the slow and the sick ones get picked off by the alligators, we see this really brutal type of existence in nature, because some organisms are going to win and survive and reproduce and pass on their genes to the offspring, and unfortunately some are not going to win, and they're going to get picked off and eaten, and they will not be able to pass their genes along to their offspring. So what we see in order for evolution to occur is we have to have differential reproductive success. From all of the variation existing in a population, individuals with traits most suited to reproduction in their environment generally leave more offspring than individuals with other traits. So if you look here at this dog, he's got lots of puppies, and as you know, when a dog has puppies, a lot of times there's the runt of the litter, so the smallest one, and that small dog is often not able to latch on to the mother to get milk, and it can continue to get smaller and become less nutritionally satisfied, and eventually in nature, when the runt of the litter is born and there's no human to go in and feed it with a bottle, the runts end up dying off. And so we have the converse of that also, where we often have one organism that is the strongest or the most robust in the litter, and that strongest one will always be able to fight its way in there to get the milk, and so therefore is most likely to be able to grow up strong and healthy and pass along its genes to its offspring. So, as we were talking about evolution by natural selection and looking at how these things happen in nature, the things that we can actually study in nature, we know that nature has lots of variabilities. There's lots of variations on traits. Just looking at humans, we know we've got different eye colors, hair colors, skin colors, body shapes, body sizes. Lots of different traits are present in individuals, and obviously all humans were all the same species. And there is heritability to that, so the traits have to be able to be passed on from parents to their children. Then we have differential reproductive success. There are some individuals that are going to be the most able to survive and some that are going to be the least able to survive. And when all of these three conditions are satisfied, that's when the population's allele frequencies change, and consequently we see evolution occurring. So at this point, I hope that you feel like you have a better understanding of what evolution is and how it works. It's not this man turning or monkeys turning into men type of situation. It's really just subtle changes in the variations of populations. And then, of course, I know there are some of you that are going to say, I still don't get it at all, and that's why I try to pass along these YouTube videos where somebody says it a little bit different than I do, and hopefully that helps you to understand what's going on. So let's look at another video.